everybody.
Good morning. Welcome to Rise and Shine. It is the Larry and Michelle show
Hey, how
today.
about that? Larry and Michelle
Yes.
taking over. Where's Patrick today? He's out? What's going on?
Yeah, he's out.
Out and about?
Yes. And what about that weather?
It's getting hot finally.
Yes.
I mean, we've been lucky so far. I didn't know, Michelle, I didn't know. We had a pretty cool winter, right? Don't everybody? I mean,
yeah.
I think we agree. We got a big spell of, sleet and almost snow here in Las Vegas, which is crazy. So I was really concerned. I didn't know if it was going to go one way or the other. Like we were going to go from a cold winter to a really hot summer, or if it would, be kind of a colder summer. And so far, it's been colder. 292 days, I think, since we've had 100 degrees, although it's about to break that, I think, today. So
yeah, it's going to be 100 today.
Yeah.
So drink lots of water, stay hydrated, sunscreen, and keep those pets, off the hot asphalt when you're walking them. They could burn their paws. We're both animal people. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to keep my little Lulu from burning her paws.
Yes. That would be painful. They say that if you can walk on the sidewalk barefoot in 100-degree temperature, imagine your dog's feet,
Or get those booties. Have you seen those dogs with the booties?
They have
and they're
dog
trying to
shoes.
shake it off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to my dog, but
Yeah, so
Good
we have some 4th of July news today and some real estate news, golf, you name
mortgage.
it.
We're going to talk about mortgage because I'm a lender, I'm a loan officer with New American Funding. So we're going to talk a little bit about rates and refinances and purchases, and is now a good time. So we'll get to all of that. And excessive heat warning for the weekend, right?
Yeah, just be safe out there.
It's going to be dry and hot, and that's. I'm a desert rat. I'm from Colorado originally, but I have lost all of that Colorado-ness in me. So I get cold when it's 80 degrees. So I'm kind of glad it's getting hot out because I like that. Planning on playing some golf on Tuesday, so it's going to be hot Tuesday, but I can handle it.
You got it. And then
Do you play golf at all?
I have. Yes,
I have. So that means no.
Remember we did the golf tournament last year.
Oh, that's right. You and I played in the golf tournament together.
We played in a. Yeah, I drive the cart great.
Right.
Yes.
I remember that. Yes. That's good.
So all you golfers, if you need a cart driver, I'm here. So we're going to take a quick break and then come back with some good stuff, talk about our sponsors, and then also we do have a special guest next week, the Shine a Light Foundation. So I'm excited to bring them in next week, and we'll be right back.
Shopping for a new home is an exciting time, and the mortgage process just got easier. New American Funding's all-digital mortgage application takes all the hassle out of applying for a mortgage. Simply put in your information and we do the rest. Safely and securely verify your income, assets, and tax information electronically. Plus, you get access to track the progress of your application anytime, anywhere. Less questions, less paperwork, less hassle, and instant access. Ready to start shopping for your new home? Let's get started.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Jenna! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get the back dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a ball and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Welcome back, everybody.
We're back. Where did we
Yes.
go? We disappeared. Now we're here.
So you said you're golfing Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday we're actually going to play out at Paiute. If you're looking for a great place to play golf, it is beautiful out there, Paiute. I think the only downside or the only thing you have to think about when you're playing out at Paiute, which is 95 north as far as you can go to Mount Charleston and back up a block and you're there, is it gets a little windy out there. When there's a little bit of wind in town, there's gale force winds out there, but it is in great shape and it's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to playing there on Tuesday. I'm going to play a little golf, tee it up.
Is it cooler there?
It can be, especially in the winter. It feels
Yeah.
like it's way cooler with the wind, so it can be a little bit cooler. But I imagine on Tuesday it's going to be 104 degrees anywhere you go. So, but we'll just stay hydrated and try to hit the ball straight. How's your golf swing? Good?
Not right now, no.
No?
Yeah.
Got to practice. One of those things, if you look at the pros when they play every weekend, they have great weeks where they're really, contending for the win, and then the next week they stink. They can't hit the ball, they shank it. It makes me feel so much better about myself when I watch the pros stink at golf. But it's a good game. It's nice and relaxing, and it's you against you, right? And so that's why I like it. You don't have to really depend on anybody else. But it's good. What's your favorite? You like bowling? You like, what's your pastime? What do you like to do?
Hiking.
I see that,
except for the summertime, if you're new to Las Vegas or going to come visit here and you don't want to hike in 100-degree weather, Mount Charleston is 30 degrees cooler than Las Vegas, and that's a place to go.
It feels a
in the
little bit
summer.
like Colorado up there in Mount Charleston. I mean, it's not very far away, and it changes scenery, lots of pine trees, and I just realized that they started charging out there at Mount Charleston now. They charge you $18 to get in.
Oh wow! Unless you're showing houses.
Unless you're showing houses, unless you're a professional realtor, then they just started because it's really crowded. Lots of people, making the break towards Mount Charleston. But get up there early if you're going to go. That's my suggestion.
Right. Let's talk about fireworks. There's quite a few places doing fireworks.
Are you a big fireworks fan?
No, because I have dogs,
Yeah, me
and
too.
so they're already shooting them off in our neighborhood. And I heard the fireworks last night.
Already?
And for the last 2 or 3 nights, but
They're practicing?
the first 2 nights the dogs barked, and then after that, last night they must have been like, "Oh, we already know what that is, so let's not bark."
Oh, that's good. I mean,
I
they
don't
get a
know
little
how dogs
condition
think.
to it. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the fireworks displays. Like, when we go to the baseball game, you go see the Aviators and they have theirs, or out at the, some of the things you're going to read off here where they have the big displays, right? I really hate the neighborhood fireworks. Makes my dog go crazy. There's veterans out there who get, freaked out over fireworks, and so
a lot of people.
I don't like I think the last time I did fireworks in my neighborhood, my son, who's now 20, was probably 8, and we were standing in the pool doing the sparklers, which was fun. But then he burned his shoulder, and he was yelling, "My dad, my shoulder's burning." I said, "Well, you're standing in the pool. Just jump in the pool." Go under.
Yeah, so speaking of the ballpark and fireworks, Las Vegas Ballpark is going to be having fireworks Sunday, July 2nd and Monday, July 3rd.
Perfect.
Tickets are starting at $18, and you can start purchasing them at 6:05 or just go right to the ballpark.
That's a great place because you watch baseball, get a hot dog, and then the fireworks off in the center field. It's all safe and fun, and Kids love it.
Yeah, and then we have what's called a Night of Fire, and that is at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Monday, July 3rd at 5 p.m. You can start going on the track. Tickets start at $15. Kids 12 and under are free. Then we have the Las Vegas Strip, Caesar's Palace. Their fireworks are July 4th. There is no charge for that. Then you also have Boulder City on July 4th. That is, parking is $20 a car, and the fireworks take place at 9 p.m. Green Valley Ranch also has fireworks, and you can get tickets for those 12 and older for $35. So those are just a few of the places having fireworks.
You know, I have to double check. I didn't look at it this year, but also Lake Las Vegas is a place to check it out. They usually have a really nice fireworks display over the lake, and you know, a band, and you can sit on the hill there and watch the fireworks. We went one year; it was really, really nice. Good place.
Yeah, and if you're traveling out there this weekend, be safe. There's so many distracted drivers. I drive around all the time and have actually become the crazy honking lady because I, see people texting and driving on the 215
put your phones
and I'm
down,
honking.
for gosh sakes.
There's the roadways are not a racetrack.
We always end up talking about road stuff.
Yeah,
closures,
because I'm
driving, because gosh darn,
orange cones.
Yeah, the orange cones, right? It's just crazy.
Reality.
Don't pass people on the right.
Yeah.
Right? If you're driving on 215, don't fly down 100 miles an hour on the right-hand side. You know why? Because slower cars drive down the right. Dump trucks, semis. You're passing, you may not be able to see in your little green Nissan thing that passed me this morning. You may not be able to see what's on the right there, and you're flying 100 miles an hour, and whammo, you're going to rear-end a truck and really hurt yourself.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Pass on the left is open. Pass on the left.
Yeah, let's get
right. And if you're in the left lane and people are passing you on the right, get over so people can pass you. All right? It works both ways. So.
We're your traffic police.
We just drive so much, I think, with both of our jobs. You drive way more than I do.
Yeah.
But, I have an office in Henderson and also one in Las Vegas, so I spend a lot of time driving as well.
I'm at about 2,400 miles plus per month is what I drive.
Wow, that's so. Mine too. I mean, my poor little car already has 130,000 miles on it. So.
Yeah. So just be safe out there, people, especially with the holiday weekend.
Stay sober.
Don't
drive if you're drunk.
Yeah, for sure. Uber, all of it. Let's just keep it safe. And what else you got for this segment?
I think it's going to be a great week. I'm looking forward to the rest of the summer. Some vacations planned, which is really good. Trying to be strategic. So I like to go to places when it's not packed, when it's not everybody's going there. So 4th of July weekend for me is staying home, playing some golf, going out in the pool, try to stay cool. And then I'm going to go vacation first week of August, try to get out when everybody's coming back kind of thing. So
awesome.
You have any plans for vacations? Any good stuff?
Not yet.
We're playing it by ear. We're going to sneak up to Utah, I think.
Yeah.
You got family coming into town?
Yeah.
That's good. It's good and bad, right? Sometimes when the family comes to town. Great to see them. But you end up being a tour guide for a while.
I don't mind that.
Really?
Yeah.
I do. So if my family's watching, I don't like to be a tour guide. So. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So on social media networks, if you comment, social media shows, and we take donations as well as are looking for sponsors. So if you have a business or a charity that you want to promote, this is the place to do it. Social media shows is up and coming. We have hundreds of shows on air a week, and so
there's
we
some
would
good
love
ones
to
too,
have
like
you.
the hot seat. I like the hot seat. That's my favorite show.
The hot seat. More Family Ministries, right? So there's a lot of
and of
great
course
shows.
Rise and Shine. I'm not always here, so I have to watch, right? I'm just a guest.
And then there's the comedy one I really love. So, I mean, stay tuned. You know, this is going to be a big deal one day. I mean, this is one of the first companies that actually started this. And, you know, I mean, social media is free. You don't have to pay for cable if you're watching shows on social media.
Hey, and if you're watching this right now, share it. Share it to your feed.
Yeah, we would love
Get
that.
your friends involved so they can watch some shows and let us know what you want to see, what you want to talk about. Happy to, you know, customize our show to meet our audience, right? If you want to talk about specific things or don't want us to talk about things like driving and mind your own business, but that's okay too. Whatever.
We do have some great real estate news coming up and mortgage news. So if you're out there and you are thinking of buying or selling, we will provide you some valuable information today and every week. Larry is one of the sponsors for social media shows, and so am I. And we have multiple other sponsors as well, who you'll see on the commercial break. So we'll be right back, speaking of commercial break, and come back with some good information.
It's a tough market. We get it. Home inventory is at an all-time low. It's a seller's market, and cash buyers have the advantage. Recently, cash buyers made up more than a quarter of all home purchases. But we have the solution. New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program allows your buyers to compete with all cash offers by becoming cash buyers themselves. Here's how it works. Buyer Accepted LLC, an affiliated company of New American Funding, will purchase your buyer's new home with cash and sell it back to them for the original purchase price, plus a fee that can be added to the purchase of the home once they secure mortgage financing with New American Funding. The best part is that they don't need to sell their current home first. This is a true cash offer. Clients who use our Buyer Accepted program can secure financing using a conventional loan and even VA. Plus, there are no fees for agents and no sacrificing commissions. Buyer Accepted even offers a free 1-hour certification course that will make you the expert. You want to close more deals and help more clients? New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program is the answer.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Hey, welcome back.
It's Michelle. Larry.
Yeah, Larry, Michelle.
Right. Don't get him confused. Right?
Didn't you want to talk about mortgage?
Well, great segue. Way to lean into it. You know, I get that question a lot. I've been in the mortgage business since, 2003. Decided to get into the mortgage business and be a loan officer and use some kind of schooling that I had and, you know, put it all together, finance and mortgage. And it was completely different. You know, mortgage was more about relationships and advising than it is actually the numbers in mortgage. So I consider myself more of a consultant and advisor to my clients, much like you do with your real estate, and help people build wealth. I think the number one, or not even what I think, but it's the number one wealth builder in the United States is owning property, is owning, you know, homes, is owning your house. That's how you can build wealth. Instead of paying someone else's mortgage by renting, you're paying 100% interest, right? You're not getting anything back out of that other than shelter. And that may be enough at the moment, or maybe you don't qualify, or maybe there's other reasons. But I think every person in America should really look towards owning their own home. And especially now when inventory is low. Inventory is low, finding a rental is hard, rents are going up, they keep getting, pushed up and up and up because there's no housing. So at the base level, we've got to figure out, hey, how do we get more affordable housing? Affordable housing, how do we get people into homes? You see the apartment buildings going up left and right, unfortunately going up in flames over there off the highway. But,
Yeah.
Owning your own home is a great way to build wealth, because as the property appreciates, that is actual money towards your net wealth. So I know a lot of people who have purchased a home, lived in it for a year or 2 or 3, built up some equity, borrowed against that equity to buy another house, and started renting out the house that they were living in. They became a landlord. They start providing housing for other people who may be not ready for mortgage, but now all of a sudden are building wealth, because not only are they generating income from their wealth property, but now they have another home that they're building equity in. And yes, we've had some time, over the history where, we can look back to 2006, 7, and 8, where housing just completely went the opposite direction, and your $500,000 house became a $250,000 house overnight. A lot of that had to do with the way lending was done back then, and it's completely different now.
Right. Yeah. You're more strict on approvals, right? Like before the market crashed,
Yeah.
anybody that was breathing could basically
Back in the day, and
now,
back in the Bill Clinton era, where it was every American who wants a home should get a home kind of thing, lending rules were really loose. We had no doc loans. Like, you didn't even have to show that you had a job, really. If you had a decent FICO score and you could fog up a mirror, you could basically get a loan, right? And that was just bad all the way through. That was going to never end well. And there were some other types of loans within there. There used to be this loan called a pay option arm, where you could qualify, and it would have 3 or 4 different options that you could pay. You could pay a 1% interest option, so your payment on a $500,000 house was like $500. Or you could pay an interest-only option, or you could pay a fully amortized, or you could pay a compressed, option where it was $4,000 or $5,000. Well, who was going to pay that? No one was going to. They were going to pay the minimum payment to live in this house. And the challenge was, with that type of a loan, once your house was 110% of the actual loan amount, it became a fully amortized loan. So you qualified for a $500 payment, bought a $500,000 house. Suddenly that house is worth $400,000, and you've got to make the fully amortized payment of $3,500. And a lot of people went, I can't afford $3,500.
Right.
So those loans don't exist anymore, especially in Nevada. Nevada passed some legislation, have some laws in place that don't allow for negative amortization loans, interest-only loans, things that are going to cause borrowers to get themselves in trouble. And the lenders, following lending rules, I was a loan officer back in those days, I was following the rules that were set out by Fannie and Freddie, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and they had those loan programs offered. A lot of times I would, counsel my customers and say, hey, this isn't the greatest loan option. Even though your house payment's only $500, you can only make that payment for so long, and then you're going to have to make a $3,500 payment.
Yeah.
And you only make $3,700 a month. That's not going to work, right? That you're going to end up either having to sell this thing, and that was the idea. Well, we'll live in there for a year or 2. Housing prices were going up so fast. We'll sell it, make a boatload of money, and then buy another house. And then suddenly we had the crash, right? Suddenly your home isn't worth what it was. You can't refinance. You're stuck. Lost your job. Have to foreclose or short sale. That isn't going on now, right? We are going to see some foreclosures, I think, coming up. Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. I went to a seminar yesterday on foreclosures just to see what some of the experts had to say about it. And, a lot of this stuff isn't going to happen because people still have equity in their home. So even if I lost my job today and I can't afford my payment anymore, I have equity in my house because I bought it 5 years ago.
Then you can sell it.
I can sell it, and I can live off that equity until I can get back on my feet, get my job back, find another job, whatever it is. And that's what I mean. We're still going to need rentals out there. But I think if you can own your house, let's say you buy a house today, your interest rate's 7%. So be it, right? We got 7% interest rate. I can afford the payment comfortably. It fits into my debt to income ratio. And I buy a home. I live there for 2 years. I sell my home and I make money on my home. You live there for free. It doesn't matter what your interest rate was. You lived in your house for free. You actually made money to live in this house, and you got to, have shelter and live in a nice home. And you get to take the benefit of that equity. That's, I think, the main point right now when, inventory's low, right? I mean, you can probably talk about inventory levels.
Yeah, the inventory's low, and I was on a podcast yesterday for Berkshire Hathaway, and we can talk about that in just a bit, but you gotta ask the experts like Larry and myself rather than the mainstream media, because they're there to say the doom and gloom, and we're here to bring light to the situation. And they're
not usually right.
Right. No.
Right? They're not usually right about housing.
It's pay-per-click, right?
Yeah, you see it over and over again when they're talking gloom and doom, and you're like, it was supposed to be housing prices were going to fall like crazy. They came down a little bit in the beginning of the year, right? But they're on the rise again, and it's simple supply and demand. We just don't have enough supply for the demand out there. And once interest rates do fall, and they will, folks, they're going to follow. Interest rates really follow our inflation rate. The Federal Reserve tries to keep our inflation rate at 2%, which is a made-up number that they came up with back, when Ben Bernanke was in as the chairman of the Federal Reserve. 2% is what they want our inflation rate. We're somewhere in probably the 7% right now. I think the number came out as far as inflation. And honestly, I think it's higher than that. They use different indexes to kind of drive that number down so that everybody doesn't freak out. But as inflation does come down, and it will, interest rates are going to come down. Will we ever see 2s and 3s again?
Never.
I don't think so. I think, and I hope we don't. I know that sounds weird, but I just think that gives us a false sense of, maybe not a false sense, but you get stuck in that payment, right? Like if you have a 2.875% loan, you're never gonna sell your house because you don't want to give up that payment, right? You're never going to move up. That's why inventory is so short right now, because there's a lot of people like me who have a low interest rate on their loan for their house. I love my house. I should be one of those that rents my house and go buys another one that I just talked about. I should do that. I haven't done that yet. I just can't quite give up my house payment. And I know that I could make money on that house payment by renting it and then buying another house, maybe a nicer house, better, bigger, better area. I'd love to live closer to, the Summerlin area than I do. That's something to think about. Closer to work, right? So that I don't have to drive so much. That would be nice. But interest rates will come down. So I think buying your home now is probably the way to go. If you wait till there's tons of inventory and interest rates are low, it's going to be a bidding war and you're going to have a heck of a time trying to get a property. I'd say buy your house now. Interest rates go down, you can always refinance, right? Right. Can always refinance it. So
yes.
That's where we are now. Tons of different loan programs. You don't need 20% to buy a house. I think I still run into that, believe it or not, with all the education and all the people talking about it out there, that I have somebody come in, I just don't have the down payment. Listen, we have a lot of great programs in Nevada. Nevada Housing, Home is Possible, a Chenoa Fund.
Those are all down payment assistance
programs.
by the way. Yeah.
Now, they're not my favorite. If you have your own down payment assistance, or your own down payment, I should say, those programs really aren't for you.
Yeah.
But if you need it to get into a home now, to find, get a house that you can start building equity on, it's definitely a great program to look at.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go on another break, and we'll be right back. Yeah, that was 5 minutes, Larry.
What affects your credit? The answer can be many things. Let's take a look at a few of the most common factors and how they can impact your credit. Credit history. In order to have a credit score, you need to have open and active credit accounts. This gives you the opportunity to build a credit score and get approved for larger purchases such as a car or a home. So it's important to have a responsible record of debt repayment. Available credit and usage. The rule of thumb is to use 30% of your available credit to minimize the impact of debt on your credit score. In other words, the less credit you use, the better. Monthly on-time payments. By making sure your monthly payments are paid on time, you could boost your credit score. Late payments, however, may bring your score down. Errors on your credit report. Check your credit report regularly to make sure it's accurate. If there are any errors or signs of identity theft, report them immediately to the appropriate credit bureau. Applications for credit. If you're applying for credit, filling out several applications in a short amount of time may hurt your credit score. It's ideal to keep the applications to a minimum. However, there is an allowable shopping window for a mortgage. Remember, a good credit score could possibly save you in interest payments. If your credit score needs some improvement, however, consider starting with the basics mentioned here. And when you're ready to buy your dream home, give New American Funding a call. We'll help you find a home loan that works for you and your unique situation.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Larry and Michele Kubiak. Can you believe that? Michele Kubiak's here.
Yes.
She's a top agent in town, a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services of Nevada. One of my favorite companies to work with for sure. And I've still been talking about mortgage the whole time we were on break. It's just you guys didn't get to hear it. No, I want to throw it over to Michele because I really want to hear what's going on in her world as far as real estate and her listings and all sorts of good stuff. So Michele, take it away.
Yes, we're going to go right into the property of the week. It is listed by Suzanne Burnett with Berkshire Hathaway. It is 9209 Las Manatees Avenue, number 202. This is in Maravilla. It is a single level luxury condominium, and it was beautifully remodeled on the second floor. Overlooks the 12th green on Angel Park Golf Course.
I know exactly where that is.
Yes, it has hardwood flooring, and it's really, they're still building up the neighborhood there. However, this residence is already built up, and you don't have to pay the builder pricing. And this is listed in just over $1 million. In between $1 and $2 million. It's a beautiful property. Again, the address is 9209 Las Manatees Avenue, and that is in Summerlin, over kind of by Suncoast area and
Boca Park, in that area, yeah.
And Tivoli Village. So
it's a nice place.
It's a really nice, beautiful property. And you know, when Larry was speaking about renters, and I'm on a lot of groups on Facebook and Nextdoor, and one of the frustrations that I see a lot is for renters that are trying to find a place to rent, where somebody isn't taking multiple applications. That's like going into a house and there's multiple offers on it. You have to do outrageous things to get a property. You have to have an amazing credit score. When the money that you're going to put in to this rental, say your rent is $2,000, your security deposit is $2,000, you have a $500 cleaning fee. We're at $4,500, and if you have pets, add another $300 per pet. That's $4,800 that you're paying to go help somebody else pay their mortgage, you know? I mean, sure, I've rented and I've owned several homes. However, it's tough out there for renters right now just because of the multiple applications and having to wait and wait and wait. And, you know, as agents helping renters, it's like we have to beg, please, 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 crumble cookies, whatever. No.
Right, and every
Just
time, we were
kidding.
just talking about this on break, but every time somebody goes into, let's say you want to put your application in on this property, on this property, on this, you know, apartment complex, you got to pay an application fee every time you do that. That gets kind of expensive too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And
There's no application fee for a mortgage, by the way.
yeah, there isn't. We were just talking about that. And I have some slides that our wonderful producer is going to put up on the screen. And it talks about why rent when you can buy. Here's top 5 reasons to buy instead of rent. And Larry mentioned this. It's build equity. What does that mean? That means that you go buy, if it's your first home and you only are approved for a certain amount, even if it's a condominium, you go rent, you know, live in that, buy that, and live in it for a couple years, take your equity out, or rent that property out and go buy a bigger property after you've earned more income or the interest rates have gone down. And then you can build generational wealth through real estate. You have the same stable payments when you have a mortgage versus if you're renting, where landlords can raise your rent like 5% a year, I think it is. I'm not a property manager, so don't quote me on that.
Or worse, if you're renting a house, they can sell it out from underneath you and then force you to move. They can do that too, and then what?
Yes, and then you have to move,
Right.
and so there's just no stability in that. There's also tax benefits, so you can check with your CPA on the tax benefits that you could get for owning a property. You can be involved in a homeowners association and help with the rules and regulations of the neighborhood when you own a property. That way, you know, you're part of the board. Pride of ownership. You know, I know when I bought my first home, any little improvement that I did to my house, it's one of those where you do a room at a time and then you turn around and go, oh, that looks good. You know, I mean, it's one of those things.
And it always seems like you're doing a room at a time. I mean,
yeah.
I've owned my house for 10 years, and we just completed the laundry room. We did some shiplap and did some stuff in there. Now we moved to the dining room, so now we're going to do something in the dining room. We just keep moving room to room to room. But it's fun. You know, we can do whatever we want, really.
Yeah, so, I mean, those are just some of the reasons why owning is better than renting.
Neighbors, right? I mean, you're renting a little condo or an apartment. You've got neighbors upstairs, downstairs, next to you. Got to keep the noise down. You know, you don't have to do that in your house. I mean, within reason, I guess. You can't have your rock band rehearsal out back, but. You know,
sure you can. Just
for a
do
little while.
soundproofing in the walls.
Right.
Don't you? There's soundproofing. You could, do music. Don't
invite the neighbor
don't
over to
listen
jam.
We'll have the raiding the rock vault there. So how about this Las Vegas 7 days at a glance for the Las Vegas real estate market? We're back up to a 7.9 week supply. What that means is we went from a 5.6 week supply. I think people are coming back from vacations and putting their homes on the market.
Right.
Still super low inventory. Even the average weekly price has gone up from the lower 500s to 570 this week. 570 to 283 to be exact. Highest price sold last week of a home was $8 million. We are seeing that.
I bought 2. So.
Yeah. We are seeing that sellers right now are getting 100% of their asking price. which is amazing. Average days on market, if you're out there and you're thinking of selling, is about 38, and that's the market as a whole. So that includes houses that were overpriced originally that came down to market value. So sometimes the longer days on the market, that's what it means, is if your house is overpriced or it doesn't have a lockbox, those are two reasons that your property is going to sit on the market longer than most people's.
Well, and those, I mean, there are those people out there who put their house on the market and do the wish, you know, I want to make $1 million, even though their property's worth 800,000, or, you know, there's a big spread. So they're kind of not real sellers, but they're included in that number, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's some people that will start out when we go, well, I need to net $100,000 on my house, so we got to price it to where I can net that. The market isn't dictated by what you need to put in your pocket. And I mean, there's no really short way of
You know, I think another reason
that.
why we have a rise in inventory recently, I think that a lot of people have gotten themselves in some credit card debt and some trouble.
Right.
And so they don't necessarily want to do the refinance on it, but they're ready to sell their house and take that equity and help pay down their debt.
Yeah.
There's other ways to do it, by the way, when we're back into the loan segment, but there's other ways to do that.
Yeah, and like I myself, I'm getting ready to put a few homes on the market, just because.
So you've got some pocket listings, is that what you're saying? So if you're out there ready to
A
buy,
little bit.
better
That
call
have a
Michelle. She might be
yeah.
able to get you in there before it's on the market.
I have a really nice listing I'm taking today, and it is really nice. It's out but your way. It's in the 89130 zip code, and it is a 1-story with 3-car garage, only going to be around $470.
Oh, wow.
So it's a good price point. She just put new appliances, new paint, and so it'll be good. I will.
Those are two big items, because you know, you try to do new appliances, new paint. That's quite a. You can end up paying a pretty penny for that. So
right, yeah, and 3-car
nice.
garage and new hot water heater. I mean, all of this that will be the property of the week next week if it's still on the market.
That one will go quick for sure. That single story.
Right. Yeah. Those are in more demand.
Call me now. I get pre-approval.
Yeah.
And get you out there ready to buy.
Yeah, and I have one more thing that I want to talk about, and then we're gonna go on a break. And I have this: why use a realtor, and what are we about? And you never want to be an amateur at the negotiating table. And what is it that we do? Like, we go to real estate school. Most of the realtors I know are really upstanding citizens, honest, hardworking realtors. And, you know, we're there. Like, imagine this. If you go to court in a courtroom and you both are using the same attorney, the defendant and the plaintiff, that would not work, right? How would that work? So when you're going and you're looking on Zillow for a house and you want to go directly to me as the agent, sure, it's legal in Nevada for us to represent both sides of a transaction. And, you know, I hold my standards pretty high where, I mean, we have to. I have a code of ethics to adhere to. And I can't tell the buyer anything, and I can't tell the seller anything. It's still uncomfortable. There's some agents that would do that all day long. But do yourself a favor. Instead of just calling me and buying it directly from me, which, I mean, you know, that is an option. Get yourself protection. Have your agent working for you as a buyer. If you're a seller, have your agent working for you as a seller, because, I mean, in Nevada, that's how it has to be as a seller. But buyer's agents, we don't get paid until the deal closes. The seller pays us most of the time. And so
you bring up a good point. It's really about who you work with, right?
Right.
You want to be protected, and realtors like Michelle and some of the other realtors that I do work with, you know, they hold themselves, first of all, they're professional realtors, because I know a lot of part-time realtors, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if it's me out there trying to buy an $800,000 house, making the the biggest purchase of my life, I want to make sure somebody who's got a fiduciary duty and understands what that means to me as the client, right?
Right.
That we're trying to get me the best deal, the best protection that I possibly can, not going to handcuff me with a short contingency period, not going to put me in a position where I lose my earnest money if I can't get my loan pre-approved and qualified. So it's also important, you're a loan officer who you work with. Make sure you work with somebody who knows what they're doing. If
Right.
you're dealing with condos and specialty projects or $1 million condos, you got to have a loan officer in a loan company that knows that product. Don't want to be the guinea pig here and try to figure it out when you've got $5,000 of earnest money sitting on the line. So she brings up a great point.
Right.
Make sure you use a realtor who you know and trust, that works at a great company that you can trust as well, that will stand behind their agents.
Right, and we do have a company attorney that we're able to bounce things off of. A lot of companies, a lot of companies in town don't even have that. So that's also a good option. And
now, we don't want to scare you either. Most of the time, our real estate transactions go very smooth, especially from New American Funding to Berkshire Hathaway, Michelle, Larry. Most of the time, it's really smooth. We've been in the business a long time, both of us, so we know a lot of the listing agents that already have their houses out there. That plays a good part in getting your offer accepted as well. You know, they get an offer, they get a pre-approval letter or a preferred pre-approval letter from us, which means it's been through underwriting. It's coming from Michele Kubiak, LarryGarlutzo. Here's the offer, and we know the listing agent. They know that deal's a good deal and it's going to close.
And it's going to close, yeah. And you know, we want to make sure you're working with somebody who has time to make your best interest a priority, because there's nothing worse. And just for example, I had a buyer that I did the second walkthrough yesterday, closing day yesterday, and the agent didn't tell the seller he needed to move out. And so I have to go do a third walkthrough. The agent was too busy to be guiding his person, his seller, correctly. And poor, you know, I mean, I've heard horror stories about realtors and, you know, and lenders, and we just want to be the exception. You know, we want to be the exception to give you the service that you deserve.
Well, I'll tell you,
that's
you know,
a huge
times
purchase.
like this, Michelle, when interest rates and inventory are low and real estate gets difficult, right? We go through cycles. Sometimes when interest rates are at 2.5%, it's easy to be a realtor and a lender. We got people throwing stuff at us trying to get houses, right?
Yeah.
When it's like this, I like it because it'll get rid of some of those people in our industry, right? Some of the realtors will say, hey, I don't want to deal with it. Some of the lenders will be like, I don't want to, you know, mess around with it. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to go do something else. So I like that, and your professionals will still be here when it's over.
Right. Yes. Okay, we're going to go on a short break.
We'll get off the soapbox.
And
I'm just kidding.
if you need help buying or selling Las Vegas real estate, please reach out to me.
What's your number, Michelle?
My number is 702-683-6576.
Right.
I'm on speed dial on your phone, so
yeah, that's it.
Thanks. We'll be right back.
Ready to buy a home? Whether you want to move out of your parents' home for the first time, own a home after renting for years, or buy a place with a spouse or partner, purchasing your first home is a big step. Finding the right home for you and your family has never been easier. New American Funding can help you determine how much house you qualify for, what your payments may be, and get you pre-approved, which will help you put in a stronger offer when you do find your new home. Before you start the home buying process, it's important to consider everything that you want in a home and what that means to you. There are several things you should consider when buying a home. The neighborhood. Location, location, location. School district. Review what school district the house is in. Even if you don't have kids, having a home in a desirable school district will pay off when it comes time to sell your home in the future. Commute times. Check the routes to work, school, grocery stores, and more to see how busy they are and how much time these routes will take. Crime rate. Before you get too involved in the home buying process, check out the crime rates for the neighborhoods you are interested in. Our complete property profile report can give you property ownership, historical tax and mortgage data, neighborhood and school data, local market conditions, and more. Find the right home for you and your family with your complimentary property profile from New American Funding. To get pre-approved or to get your complimentary property profile, contact us today.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hey, we're still here.
We're gonna be on location next week at Larry's office at New American Funding.
All right, New American Funding.
We're gonna try and do a little bit more on location. If you have a business that you want to advertise, we are looking for sponsors here at Social Media Shows. We also take donations. Just drop a message in the comments and we can set you up on your way. And so,
who's going to be our special guest one more time for us next week?
It's going to be Shine a Light Foundation, Rob Bankhart. So what Shine a Light is they go in through the tunnels where there's people living. A lot of them are addicted to drugs, alcohol, and they actually go in there. And they
get the shine a light thing.
Yeah.
Right.
They go in there and try to help people get clean and sober, and then they go down on Saturdays, I believe. They do have a fireworks stand over on Eastern and Warm Springs. Even if you don't want to buy fireworks, you can go to their fireworks stand and drop off a donation or.
It's a great cause, get people back on their feet, right? So we're gonna. We'll dive in depth next week and talk to Rob and find out what we can do more.
Yeah, it'll be great. I think, it's just amazing because those guys, I mean, I'll let them tell their story. But, I know of them for quite some time and they do a lot of good work for the community as well. There's a big, huge recovery community here in Las Vegas. So if you are struggling with alcohol and drug addiction,
gambling
of any sort, watch the show next week. Leave a message in the comments. I myself am in recovery, and Rob will give you a bunch of different resources as well. So anything else you got, Mr. Lair?
No, just enjoy your 4th of July.
Yeah.
My information, yeah, we've given I'm Larry Garlutzo. I'm the Southern Nevada Area Manager for New American Funding. Been there. I celebrated my 10th anniversary at New American Funding last week. My number is 702-355-3228. It's my cell number. You can text me. You can go onto my website, which is I have the LarryGarlutzo.com website. It redirects to my New American Funding site. You can apply online. So if you're one of those that likes to apply for mortgages, in the middle of the night, I'm there for you. Click on it, fill out your information, and we'll get you started on your pre-approval. Again, there's no charge for a pre-approval through New American Funding and me. We'll get your credit, take a look at that, see if there's any credit repair that we need. Sometimes that happens. We can do some quick credit repair for you, get you on the track to buy a home. So even if you're not ready now, you may want to check it out, get a pre-approval so you know, okay, I'm approved for this now, but I'm really looking for something like this. What is it going to take to get you there? Is it paying down some debt? Is it getting a new job? Is it, repairing some credit? That type of stuff. So we can take a look at it. I've seen it all. I get some people that are a little bit embarrassed about their credit. It's no problem. I've seen all types of credit. I've seen no credit. If you don't have a credit score, I can work with that too. So
thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next
have a great week
at Larry's office.
Come on, everybody.